Hi guys, I am making this video to cordially invite you to my read-along. Like I mentioned on Twitter and in my Booktubeathon updates, I have decided to run a read-along for the month of August, and it is going to be a classical literature read-along. Together, me and you are going to read some books from antiquity. I thought this might be a fun way to help get some of you guys that are wanting to try out classical literature into classical literature, and also for those of you like me that are already into that time period to just read some more and read it with some friends. So based on some of your guys' suggestions, I've decided for us to read 2 books for the read-along. The first book we will be reading from the 1st till the 15th of August, and the second book we will be reading from the 16th to the 31st of August. In the first half of the month, I will be reading The Odyssey by Homer, which is an ancient Greek epic poem. This was first written down at the beginning of the 6th century BC and follows the epic hero Odysseus on his travels back home to his island Ithaca after the Trojan War has ended. The events in this book take place after the Iliad, also by Homer, but you by no means need to have read the Iliad already. The Iliad tells the story of the hero Achilles during a small portion of the Trojan War, so all you really need to know is that Odysseus is a Greek hero who fought on the side of the Greeks during the Trojan War, which was a war fought between the Greeks and the Trojans, when the Greek commander Menelaus's pride and honour were damaged by his wife being taken away or running away with the Trojan prince Paris. This one will be a reread for me, but the second book will actually be a first time read for me as well as some of you guys. And that is Ovid's Metamorphoses, which is a Roman epic poem. I thought that way we'd have a bit of both cultures. Also a really famous one, and as good a place to start as any with Latin literature. I haven't read this, but I have read some Ovid before and absolutely adore his writing. This narrates a selection of ancient myths I can't really say any more about because I haven't read this before, but I'm really excited to read it along with you guys. Both of these are very famous and should be easily attainable. They're both still mass published by a variety of different publishing companies and will probably be in stock at your local library. My copy of the Odyssey is the same translation as the Penguin Classics edition, if you're interested in what translation I'll be reading, and my copy of Ovid is the Oxford World Classic, which is translated by A.D. Melville. If you're not sure which translation to get, your safest bet is probably the Oxford World Classics edition followed by the Penguin Classics edition. With ebooks and Kindle versions, the only problem with downloading a free copy of one of these classics is that they're probably going to be a much older translation. If you are looking for a copy to read, then try and stick with translations that were done from the 20th to the 21st century. Anything before that is just going to make it a little more difficult to read, and there's probably much better translations out there. I haven't read any other translations of these, so I can't really debate the merits of different translations, especially since I'm not an expert linguist, but I hope those little tips are helpful. If you do find a free ebook and you read the first few pages and you find it easy enough to go along with, then feel free to just read that copy because it's probably perfectly adequate for our enjoyment. And I do have one final suggestion for the read-along, and that is modern adaptations of these myths. I actually happen to own a copy of 2 modern retellings of both of these stories, and I will also be reading these during the month. Of course, you absolutely don't have to, but if you do have access to copies of these or have been planning on buying them anyway, then it might be fun to do that as well. These are both from the Canongate Myths series. The first one I have is the Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood, and this is a retelling of the Odyssey, but from Odysseus' wife Penelope's perspective. Again, this one will be a reread for me, but I absolutely adore it, and it will in fact be my 5th reread, so obviously I can't recommend it more highly. And just like the Metamorphoses will be a first read for me, as will its modern adaptation, and that is Ali Smith's Girl Meets Boy. Obviously I can't speak with any knowledge about whether this book is good or not, but I've heard excellent reviews of it as well as excellent things about Ali Smith's writing, so I'm really excited to read this one along with the Metamorphoses, and it is very short. I have made a Goodreads group so we can chat about these books as we're reading them, share our thoughts, and share any knowledge we have about the authors or the stories with each other. For those of you that want to chat on Twitter as well. It might be nice if we all use the hashtag classical read along, and hopefully we can have some fun learning together. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, and let me know if you're participating in the down bar, and maybe it'd be nice if you made a video as well saying you're participating to try and encourage more people to join in. And hopefully during the month of August as well I can upload some informational videos about Greek and Latin literature and maybe recommend some secondary material that I know about. I will definitely do some research on that. I will see you all in the Goodreads group below and look forward to reading with you for the month of August. Bye guys!